Good afternoon and good morning to some of you. If you are in the same time zone as me or you are further west of me. Shaun Tabatt here from the Shaun Tabatt Show. It is an exciting day. It is the 5-year anniversary of the podcast. It's hard to believe that I have been podcasting on my new show for 5 years now. I've been in the podcasting space for, gosh, it's getting close to a decade at this point, but 5 years ago, sitting in my little office at the Bloomington, Minnesota office of Baker Publishing Group, I published the first episode of the Shaun Tabatt Show. I actually interviewed Yochanan Marcelino about the Christian film The Identical. And so that was the first episode of what was at that time my new show. And so today is a big day. It has been 5 years. In honor of the 5 years, I'm wearing my Libsyn #podcaster t-shirt. If you are looking to get started in podcasting or you need a podcast host, Libsyn, let's see if I can actually line it up there, libsyn.com. That is the place to go for the world's best podcast hosting. I have been using them, goodness, for about 9 years at this point. So they are always the podcast host that I recommended. So yeah, a big day of celebration for me. I've been looking forward to hitting this milestone as we went into 2020, and here we finally are. In honor of the big day, we've released our new podcast artwork. Thank you to Christian at Destiny Image. He has been helping with all of our podcast artwork for the shows on the Destiny Image Podcast Network. He sent me this new artwork a couple weeks ago. I wasn't completely sure about it, although I love the color yellow. But thanks to all of you who gave me feedback saying that you thought the yellow with the blue really worked well. My wife said I kind of will look like a walking representation of the IKEA brand color scheme. So there you go. If it works for IKEA, it can work for the Shaun Tabatt Show. As I was thinking about what I could talk about today in reference to this milestone, the thing that kept coming to mind is what are the 5 things, the 5 big lessons I've learned along the way in 5 years of podcasting. And so here you are. I know you've all been waiting for this. The 5 lessons that Shaun has learned along the way in 5 years of podcasting, the Shaun Tabatt Show. So number 1, I've learned that I have a voice that needs to be heard. I'm a guy who grew up in a single parent home. My dad was not around when I was growing up. Honestly, I had a lot of confidence issues. I was shy. I didn't often speak up, and that was throughout my childhood and into my college and early adult years. And through podcasting, I found my voice. I found a pace and a rhythm for talking and sharing and asking questions that just built this massive amount of confidence in me that I do have important things to say and important things to contribute. And it's dramatically shifted my career and my life. And so the first thing I've learned, again, I have a voice that needs to be heard. Number 2, I'm actually not an introvert. In the context of just being shy and not overly confident and often unsure of myself, I always thought I was an introvert. And about 2, 3 years ago, I was just praying about this, and God said to me, He said, "Look, you are not an introvert. You have these childhood traumas and things that you've walked through, struggled with, things that have challenged you that made you think you're an introvert, that made you scared of putting yourself out there, that people might react negatively to you." And God really challenged me to stop living off of other people's potential opinions and just accept that I'm not this introvert, scared person. And so, yes, I no longer actually refer to myself as an introvert. And partly God used podcasting to help me discover that. Number 3, it's okay to be myself. I don't need to copy everybody else. One of the challenges I think we face as creatives is, when we start out, we're looking at, oh, what's this person doing? That's really cool. What's that person doing? That's really cool. And yeah, starting out, you may copy some ideas from others, but you need to be you. You need to find a rhythm and a flow and a creativity space, a niche that is all your own, that you are able to own. And so, not to say we can't learn from others, not to say we can't take good ideas from others and implement them into the work that we are doing, but you be you. And so that's one of the things I've also discovered is that it's okay to be myself. It's okay to create how I want to create and pursue the types of content that I want to pursue. And then number 4, after interviewing hundreds of successful people, we're up to 377 interviews of the Shaun Tabatt Show as of yesterday. And actually, I mean, through the years with my earlier podcasts, I've interviewed it's somewhere between 600 and 650 people. But the one thing I've learned is that overnight successes often take an average of 7 to 15 years. So Rome isn't built in a day. Success isn't built in a day. So just in the week by week and month by month process of doing hundreds and hundreds of episodes, I've learned to be patient and I've learned to be diligent and put in the hard work to do what needs to be done to make the show successful, to continue honing my craft and just really pouring myself into something that I definitely enjoy. So, success not built in a day. And that would apply to podcasting or any other pursuits that you might be going after. And then number 5, hard work and consistency in one area opens up new doors in others. Honestly, in the past decade, podcasting has given me the most opportunities and opened up the most doors in my personal and professional life. A couple of examples. I've gotten speaking engagements because of the podcast. I've been able to be on TV because of the podcast. Podcasting has been a major component in my last 2 career moves. And so it's opened up professional doors that directly ties to how I support my family and make a living. And honestly, probably the biggest thing for me is the social aspects of podcasting, the network aspects of podcasting. I have made friends all over the world, authors and publicists and fans, people who listen to the show. And so I have this global network that has grown out of the podcast. You know, I have access to people at every level of publishing and business and all sorts of spheres of culture that had I never started the podcast, I wouldn't have the opportunity to connect with these people. And it's, one of the things I've often reflected on through the years is, back in the day, I had aspirations of being a pastor. I had aspirations of being a professor at a Bible college. Part of it was I wanted a seat at the table. I wanted to have an opportunity to be a part of cool conversations that were happening. And ironically, as I look back all these years later as a podcaster, I have the opportunity to connect with some of the biggest and brightest minds of our age. And were I a pastor at a church or were I a professor at a Bible college, I wouldn't necessarily have those same opportunities. Obviously, anybody can have a podcast, but I've been investing in building this network for close to a decade, and so ironically, I've realized aspects of those early dreams through the pursuit of podcasting. So, as you might guess, I'm just super passionate about podcasting. It has been a big part of my life in the past 8-9 years, and goodness, I can't say enough good things about it. It's definitely one of my life passions. I just get so excited through working at Destiny Image and helping to head up the Destiny Image Podcast Network. I've had an opportunity to train and mentor new podcasters. I've had an opportunity to help my fellow content creators improve their content and just overcome hurdles. And so it's very gratifying to me to be able to pour into new up and coming content creators to share from all the knowledge and hard-earned wisdom that I've gotten along the way, where I can help other people's stand on the shoulders of the success that I've been able to build through the years with previous shows and now the Shaun Tabatt Show over the past 5 years. So there you go. Those are the 5 things I've learned along the way in 5 years of podcasting on the Shaun Tabatt Show. If you'd like to check out the show, head on over to my website at shauntabatt.com. I have all 377 episodes available there. And honestly, I'm just excited to see what the next 5 years and beyond hold. I think that podcasting is going to be a major part of my life for the foreseeable future. It's something that, like I said, I'm just crazy passionate about. So I'm going to continue pursuing it. And I'm excited as I looked into the latter part of 2020 and beyond. I just see that I'm going to have more opportunities to train and coach and encourage other people to step into the podcasting space and see how it can unlock you as a creator, and also that it can help you shift and change your life. For me, I use it for my own personal growth. Honestly, that's what drives so many of the conversations I have with authors is I want to learn, I want to grow, and I want to be stretched. And honestly, God allowed me to have podcasting as a way to be shaped and molded and transformed into a more accomplished and confident person. So I'm crazy thankful to all the publishers, the authors, the publicists, friends, families, fans, listeners, all of you who have poured into me and encouraged me, given me your time, empowered me with books and press kits and all the things I've needed to be successful as a podcaster, to produce great interviews with the guests that I've had on. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for your part in helping me to make the Shaun Tabatt Show the success that it has been. And I just look forward to working with you for many years to come. I couldn't have done it without you. And so, again, many thanks. Blessings. Again, head on over to ShaunTabatt.com. Check out all 377 of the episodes. I won't mind if you binge listen. And I'm looking forward to creating new content for you, connecting you with great books, great thinkers, great authors for many years to come. Have an awesome afternoon.